Welcome to Happiness Blanket channel. Subscribe this channel so that you may get our new selection from the world best videos. Now please like, share and comment this video. We are thankful to the video producers for their reuse permission.
So in this video, I'm going to explain to you why rationality is your best route and why you actually want to flatten out emotions that regard certain problems that you have. So let's say, for example, you have like a work problem that you need to get done. Most people, they like to be stressed, and they think that the stress is helping them. They're like, oh, I need to be stressed to accomplish this goal. And then when they're not stressed, they think that there's a problem. So I've definitely suffered from this. It's gotten so bad when I had it that I had a rule financially that I have to spend 120% of what I make that month. So if I made that month $10,000, I'll spend 12. If I made then 13 to get that back, I'll spend 15, and then I'll get 15 or 16. Whoa, sorry, I almost fell. And I'll get 15 or 16. Fuck it, I'm keeping that piece in. Let me know if you saw me fall. So if I make 15, 16, I'll have to make more. And it literally worked like that for almost a year, and almost killed me. Like, I was seriously on the brink of, felt like I was on the brink of having a heart attack at one point, because I believed that if I don't get myself like anxious, like you have to do it or else this or that happens, that fear thing, then it's just not going to happen. I'm just not going to do it. And nowadays I'm happy to say that I'm rational. I am more interested in investing and growing my wealth than increasing income by destroying it. But the point is that so many people are feel like they depend on that emotion. You also get, for example, married couples, and I ask them, like, hey, why did you marry? And they're like, what? Like, of course we married, because we love each other. I'm like, yeah, but what's the point? Like, why did you actually do it? The whole legal process and everything. And they're like, oh, because it's how are you going to be committed if you're not married? When you're married, you're committed to each other. So I always ask, like, oh yeah, like that's what makes you committed? Like having a piece of paper that says that you're committed, that like a ceremony, that's what makes you committed? No. you should be committed naturally by the virtue of wanting to be in a good relationship with your partner if you decided to be committed. So again, many people, I've just been giving examples of how many people, most people, use emotional triggers or feel like they depend or they need to use emotional triggers in order to accomplish things. I need to be stressed to get this problem done. I need to be excited to go to the gym. And I believe you can already start seeing where I'm going with this and why this is so wrong. And the reason for that is emotions are unreliable. That's the first example, the first reason, just they're unreliable. Like, you can't trust emotion. Something might stress you, and then next moment it doesn't. Something might make you excited, and then the next moment it doesn't. So they're unreliable, they constantly change, and they're unnecessary, and they're not dependable. So let's say that you set your main way of dealing with a problem is as a rationality. Like, that's your tool, being rational. So okay, there's a problem, it needs to be taken care of, and then you take care of it in a relaxed fashion, rational fashion. You're calm, everything is good. You're going to be more effective. You're going to be able to, for example, take massive action because now your emotions aren't getting in the way. So people who rely on emotions for massive action yeah, sometimes it does work, but then it doesn't, because you feel like you're in the gym, you feel excited, like, oh my god, I'm gonna pump this weight, da, 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 da. And then you go, you lift the weight, da, 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 you go, it's crazy, but then you don't feel it anymore. Now what? Now you're out of juice. Or if you're attacking your problems, like, yeah, I can deal with it, I can make it happen, blah 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 blah. And then the emotion goes away, you don't feel like it. Or let's say you're not stressed about your finances, you're like, oh my god, I'm not stressed anymore, what the fuck. I'm not stressed, so why would I work if I'm not stressed? So it's just this dependency on emotions. And in my experience, again, I was seriously dependent on them, and I never solved it. I usually give you guys, like, do this and this and this, and this will solve it. But in this case, it's more of a decision, to be honest. It's less about a technique or something. You just need to realize that it's pointless. The moment you realize that the emotion is pointless, that you don't need it to achieve your problem, you'll stop generating that emotion. So the moment you look at, for example, financial problems, and you realize that you're not going to deal with them by being stressed, or that you can deal with them better, like objectively, you're like, oh, I can deal with it better if I'm not stressed, you're just not going to want to feel stressed anymore. So the power of rationality really comes into play here. Any problem that you have can be solved rationally, and emotions are necessary. And the moment you realize that, like, I don't need to depend on emotions to do something, like, I don't need to fear cheating on my wife so that I don't cheat on her, I could just be disciplined about it. Or I don't need to feel excited to work out and have a great workout, then that goes away as well. And what you get in return when you face that, when you face that fact that you don't need these emotions, is you get a more stable, rational existence without as many ups and downs, because you don't need them. So next time you want to make more money, you're not going to try and create more problems with emotions. So every time you want more money, you're probably like, oh my god, I'm not making enough money, what the fuck. Again, it's what I talk about. It's inspiration or desperation. Like, oh shit, I have to make money. Or it's from inspiration, like, oh my god, this is so amazing, this is such an amazing business idea. Again, both of these are going to fade away. Both of these emotions are going to go away. And what's the number one key to success? Consistency. So you can't be consistent if you're relying on something that's inherently inconsistent, not dependable, and short-lived. And again, I tried living on emotions. Like, I tried by continuously upping the ante, and just, again, more stress, and then you get used to it, and then more stress, and because once you get used to the stress, there's no more stress. So but again, it destroyed me. Like, it was the hardest, most horrible time of my life. I was very successful in that time, but that depends on how you what you call success, because I was fucking miserable. I was miserable, like completely miserable, and I wasn't happy. I was constantly stressed, so what if I was making money? Like, what does it matter? So when I learned to be rational, I started looking at my life, and my goals. And again, let's say there's something I need to fix, then I wouldn't have to wait until inspiration or desperation, until I have an amazing idea, or until it gets so bad that I don't have a choice. So when I see something that I can improve, financially, health-wise, athletically, in relationships, whatever it is, doesn't matter. I'll just sit down and I have my daily reports, and I'll just add it. Like, oh, for example, I recently realized that I should spend more time thinking and strategizing with myself. Like I took a shower in the morning. It was a cold shower, and then because of that, I said, okay, I had to take a shower again in the evening. So I said, okay, I'll take a regular shower. And I know it sounds funny, but it's the first time I took a regular shower in like 2 months, maybe 3-4 months. So I took it, and I suddenly had like many ideas, like bam, like, whoa, I should do this and I should do that, because I like to think in the shower, and you can't do that when you're fucking freezing to death. So that brought me to another conclusion, that I need more time for myself to think and to strategize. So instead of being like, from inspiration, like, oh my god, that's so amazing, what the fuck, I'm gonna change everything now, my life is gonna change, fuck, it's all about this, like, and just destroy everything. Or instead of being from desperation, like, what the fuck, this is so horrible, I wasn't thinking enough, I just came from a very rational place, and I'm like, okay, clearly this is working, this is producing results. I failed to notice it. You fix your steps along the way, that's part of the process. And I just added it to my daily habits. So now every day I also sit and strategize for 20 minutes. It's that simple. No big deal, no big fuss, Or let's say, lately doing 60 minutes of meditation has been really, really hard for me. I don't know why. It happens. But I'm not gonna, let go of the habit. So I'm just gonna dial it down to 20 minutes for now. Okay. And I could be like, oh my god, it's not working, what the fuck, just going crazy. Everything is rational. Everything is rational, because that's why what they teach astronauts in space, they basically take them through every single possible scenario so that they don't freak the fuck out, because they say in space, panic equals death. You can't allow yourself to panic. You don't have that luxury. You're gonna die, because you have to be always rational and in control. So that's kind of the way I try to go about my life, is always be rational, always be calm. And again, this is coming from somebody who's been in the opposite end. It's funny how you usually find people in opposite ends, like the super fat guy turns into the super skinny guy, the super extreme guy turns into the balanced guy. But yeah, that's the way I deal with it today. So I highly recommend you take this rational approach to success. It will make you much happier, much calmer, much more effective, to be honest. That's like one of the biggest points. And maybe you won't see as much short-term results, because again, it's much easier to get results if you're in a crazy stress, but the crazy stress won't last, and then you get like a peak, like a beep beep, like in the heart monitor, like did it, but it's gone. So you maintain it for a week. Maybe you go crazy like me, risking hundreds of thousands of dollars, and waking up every morning with a heart attack almost, and you manage to last it for 5 months, 6 months, a year. But it's still going to go away, and the moment it goes away, you won't be able to hold up to that level of emotion. Just like when you work out and you have that amazing workout because you felt super pumped up, that's an exception. And if you try to make it like that every day, and it's possible, you're going to have to start doing some coke at one point, because if you don't, then you're not going to be able to maintain it. And then you're going to lose it, because the whole point of consistency is that efforts have to be maintained in order for results to keep growing. If you take this much effort for half a year and you grow, and then you go down from this to this, you're going to crash very fast, because you have to continuously maintain the efforts and build on the efforts. You can't just let go of the efforts and expect to see an increase of the results. Now again, I'm contradicting, because like I said, I am going from 60 minutes of meditation to 20 every day, but I'm keeping the consistency because it's a rational thing that I do out of a realization of what I'm doing. I'm like, okay, I know that this is going to slow down the process, so I'm not going to freak out. I'm not going to get like, oh my god, it's not improving as fast as it did, what the fuck, and then stop the habit. But let's say you're growing your income, and you're constantly doing this thing where you're spending more than you should, and you're getting into these very extreme situations. Or let's say that you depend in your workouts on like amazing pumps and amazing success, and then suddenly you lose that fuel. You're probably going to quit because it's too boring now. It's like a sudden loss of what you had. So anyway, I hope this video helps you. This is a topic that I was definitely struggling with for a long time, but I've solved it, or at least I'm much better at it today. And it's really important for me that you also get better at this. So let me know in the comments what's holding you back from also being like this. Or maybe you don't even agree with me. That would also be a good topic. Like, hey, I don't agree with you. This is why I don't agree. If you're if it's a private thing, feel free to email me. And I'm just here to help you and see you grow and succeed as well. So feel free to subscribe if you haven't. And thanks for watching. See you soon.